Welcome back, everyone, to another CSR broadcast, back with the All-American Cup Series. Here this evening, we got an echo because we are checking on our stream, and we got a blast in our ears, so give us just a second. There we go. That sounds much better. So we're back with the All-American Cup Series here, points racing. Back again after the Thanksgiving Day break from the old school Atlanta Motor Speedway into Gen 4 cars. This one is, I think, going to be a pretty big handful for these guys around this racetrack tonight. Tires, high speed, all the things you love about racing in the NASCAR series. This track is treacherous out here. With this setup here this evening, I have a feeling the caution flag might... Well, it might fly a lot tonight. I know these guys are some of the best, but boy, this racetrack on this 900 horsepower car is just an absolute handful out there. These guys getting qualifying underway here. So let's go ahead and get a look at the schedule for the All-American Cup Series here. Coming down to it. Atlanta Motor Speedway here this evening. Only Rockingham and Homestead, Miami are left. So if you have anything left for your championship run, well, you better put it in victory lane here tonight, because you're only going to have two more chances at it for the All-American Cup Series. And let's get a look at that points battle right now. Lilith Peters at the top. She needs to continue her strong runs to, just solidify herself as a, just a force to deal with for all these drivers out here, as well as solidify herself in the championship running. Justin Thompson, though, only 2 points behind. Curtis White, 13 points behind. Carrington, 33, tied with Miles. Dayton Taylor, 55. So if Dayton wants to really make these last two races interesting for himself, he needs to go ahead and put that car in victory lane here this evening, which he very well may have a strong case at doing here tonight. Well, get you guys back to our pre-race show. Qualifying getting ready to wrap up here this evening. We'll get you caught up on all the details, all the information. This is the first time the All-American Cup Series has been back here since May of 24. So you might get a feeling out process for the first portion of this race from these drivers. But, like I said, these are some of the best drivers I have personally seen on iRacing. So I have a feeling it won't take long for them to just get it up to speed and get after it here tonight. Just checking out a couple other things that we have going on here. Casey Carrington, kindly enough, gives us some information for the race. And, of course, now as soon as I go to look for it, I can't find it. There we go. Okay, so we have all three green-white checkers here tonight. 4 additional sets of tires from where they start. Then the set they start on, 75% fuel. So it's going to get you about 35 to 40 laps, depending on your draft, depending on if you start clutching early, to get that little bit extra on the fuel run there for these guys. Could very well see a race just like Kansas here with some long green flag runs. So some guys, just knowing how treacherous this track could be, could really make them drive just a little bit different. Just another thing for you, Dayton Taylor 8 points ahead of Zach Metres there in the 60, and Jacob Alicia 53 points. So a strong run for Dayton Taylor not only could put him in championship contention, but solidify himself as the Rookie of the Year. Well, qualifying getting ready to wrap up here for the All-American Cup Series. Got a little bit of a warm-up before that, but so while they do that, let's go ahead and do our national anthem.
And you see by the dawn's early light was so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes was so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular upon bird singing yeah, through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
And just like that, we are back with the All-American Cup Series here. Our warm-up just finishing here. You see some of the cars ripping by and sliding by here this evening, getting ready to get this thing started. Well, since they are wrapped up with qualifying, getting that last warm-up out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at the starting grid for this evening's race. Maybe. There it is. Okay, thank you, SDK. It likes to put it down at the bottom, so let's grid it up to the top. James Silvers putting it on the pole over Lucas Strayer. Jared Hutton in that 50 machine, putting it on the inside of row number 1. Michael Mullins, Chris Worrell, Lilith Peters, Drew, Matthew, Casey, Dominic, Daniel, Connor, Thomas, Justin Thompson down there. So between 6 and 14. Pretty spread out right there as far as on the grid. Points going to matter for those two drivers. We'll make sure we'll highlight them throughout this evening. But the times all the way back to 17th are less than 1/10 of a second off, which is just extremely impressive. Going through the rest of your starting order here. Stephen Miles back there in that one machine. Josh Dale and Hunter Sr., Justin Ray, Craig Martin, Cody Anderson, Curtis White with an uncharacteristic qualifying effort for him. Kyle Ether in the same boat. Walker, Steve Melnick, and Jeremy in the 72. Still 28th, but only 0.3 of a second off. We're just choking on some water over here. Don't mind us. So these guys getting ready to get going here. Oh, we got all kinds of stuff popping up. SDK now wanting to just do its own thing here. Now it wants to give us a grid. Oh, well, that's just great. Thanks, SDK, for that. So we'll shut that down. We'll go ahead and look at the weather for this evening's race. 97 degrees. Not a super hot track temperature out there. So it is beaming in the sun right now. Got to imagine as this race goes on, it might see some shadowing and some cooler temperatures in the corner, but still a warmer racetrack. Not the hottest racetrack, but on an old abrasive surface, this racetrack is definitely going to just eat up those tires. Well, these guys, you see their beautiful paint schemes down there on the starting grid. If you guys are watching there on YouTube, make sure you hit your gear icon on the bottom right part of your screen. We are streaming in 1440, so go ahead and crank up the quality. It does look pretty awesome when these cars are going around the racetrack as they begin to roll. So 2 points is all that separates your current points leader and P2 here this evening. So definitely going to be something to keep an eye on, as well as the guys chasing them down in the points as the final part of the grid begins to roll off the racetrack here. We'll get you to your live scene here. Get it full screen for you guys. Get up here and get a look at your pole sitter in the 17 machine, the 26 just on the outside. Michael Mullins could be an absolute factor in this. He has been kind of on a tear recently for the All-American Cup Series, so backing that up with another solid qualifying effort here this evening. Well, as they exit turn 4, the pace car will pull off onto a very flat pit road. If we do get those long green flag runs, it's also going to be very interesting to see who does not make a mistake getting on pit road here this evening. Going to be yet another just kind of treacherous part of this race. As you see the start from the stands, we are about to be green for the All-American Cup Series, 130 laps from old Atlanta. So Silvers will lead lap number 1. Let's go ahead and get your full standings up here. Oh, not the right button. This is the right button, so you can keep track of all your favorite drivers here this evening. We saw a couple guys with a close brush to the wall off of 4, lap 1. Now Mullins moving up, making a charge for P2. Silvers kind of using the middle lane. He will continue to lead us around here this evening. The 06 of Chris Worrell has just set the fastest lap out of the first 2 right now with a 30.59 as he makes his way down the back straightaway. The 26 now getting a good run up off the high side of 2, driving it down into 3 and 4 on the high side, looking to see if he can keep that momentum up once again off 4. Looks like he will put Lucas Strayer to the lead on lap 3, coming to lap 4 here for the All-American Cup Series. Justin Thompson in that 3 machine already on the move. He knows what is at stake. 3 wide out of 2. Threading that car through there. He knows he's got to get up there and beat Lilith Peters here tonight if he wants to go and take the championship lead away from her. But more 3 wide action right here. The 80 on the bottom. The 66 of Thomas Stokes splitting the difference there as well. You got to see this all night long. I have a good feeling that a lot of these guys using all different lanes around the racetrack here this evening. Get a ride on board with Casey Carrington as he goes into 3 and 4. So the battle continues on all over this racetrack. I have a feeling we might see some guys getting fairly spread out. You see Hutton there in the old, I guess you could call it the old Dale Jr. line, considering we're on the old racetrack. But a lot of people know that now as the Kyle Larson line, inches from the wall. But right here, this is the matchup we're going to want to keep our eyes on all evening long. Thompson on the move already, up 8 spots now all over the back bumper. Now to the inside of Lilith Peters, down the front straightaway, looking to take the spot away and advance his championship hopes. Lilith now gets that car wound up against the wall. Not quite able to keep as much momentum as she would prefer, but a drag race into 3 and 4 out of your top 2 out of the championship title fight.
3 wide down the front straightaway. Got to be careful there if you're Thompson. As much as you want to make up points, you don't want to give up a bunch either. We do have a battle up front for the lead. The 17 has now gone back by the 26, as well as Michael Mullins got by using the bottom side of the racetrack while we were watching the battle with Lilith Peters and Justin Thompson. Getting a notification Stephen Miles may have gone off track. We don't have a yellow flag for that just yet. As Mullins in the wall there, we'll get a look to see. Oh, make sure Mullins is okay. All right. No harm, no foul. Just a little bit of contact. So let's go ahead here and see what happens to Stephen Miles on the bottom of the racetrack. Yep. Car to the outside just gets a little loose. Great job hanging on to that car. Goes for a ride. Tough spot on the racetrack to be getting loose. Pretty normal, though, here at Old Atlanta. The battle for second still heating up. Maybe one of our closest races so far early. And this one, usually the leader kind of with these Gen 4 cars is able to walk away. But right now the lead changing hands several times. As Lilith Peters knows, the guy she is racing for that championship title is hot on her tail. She's now got that car wound back up. Now she starts to make a charge to the front as they go around. Well, these guys will watch all the battles, but let's go ahead and crank it up. Oh, Lilith Peters is in the wall hard. Oh, no. Let's get a look back here. So Lilith Peters suffering some right side damage on that. We'll see if we can get a better look at that car as it rolls through the corner here. We're just about to say the battle for the lead. It was heating up, but yeah, not too bad. But going to lose a ton of track position. That car definitely wounded right now. Going to want to get that thing down pit road. The battle for the lead, though, is picking up, and Justin Thompson is also picking up. He is up 11 spots now, has the leaders in his scopes. And while you were on board, you saw just how loose these guys are out there on the racetrack. Absolutely battling it as Mullins dives it to the bottom of the quarter. These cars have generating so much horsepower. They're actually, if you were listening on board, oh, close call there as Silvers makes a big move back to the inside. Here comes Thompson underneath the Mullins. They were having to lift in the dog leg because the cars were just starting to step out, getting free, and then get back into it briefly, and then back out of the throttle. to make the quarter here is now Thompson. Mullins has right back under it. So tire wear is seeming to be kind of already on the top of everyone's mind right now, as guys are all over this racetrack trying to find different lines to run, trying to find spots with grip right now. It seems like the high side is where all the momentum is as Thompson goes to make his move to the lead. He wants to regain his points lead that he had earlier in the season. Using the high side of the racetrack, got that car pointed down the back straightaway and rockets himself. So put Justin Thompson back to the lead here at Atlanta as they're 3 wide for second in behind him. Oh boy, these guys are absolutely wheeling these cars right now. We're definitely gonna have to get some more onboard cameras from some of these guys and just see how much they are fighting these cars right now. The battle for second still rages on. Strader and Silver's up on the high side. Mullins wants to get by. He's a little out of shape there, trying to find a way to go by. Going to open up the door for Matthew Weeks here in the 11. Chris Worrell as well in the hunt. You see Connor LaFrance, Casey Carrington, and Drew in the 80 just in behind. So action all over the racetrack, and we are only 21 laps into this one. Mullins trying to get that thing wound back up on the high side up here. Weeks and Mullins and Silver's all right there now. Maybe some of these guys who laid back early now starting to find a little bit more grip than these original lead cars here, as the 6 of World now making a big move to the front. You see just how loose Mullins is up off the quarter, absolutely fighting that car. Mullins right to the back bumper of the 17, but you hear the saying loose is fast, but I don't know. I think Mullins might be a little bit looser than he'd like to be. Silver's got to get into the wall down there. Carrington driving to the inside. They make slight contact, but they're both able to hang on to it. I also heard it down the back straightaway last time. Seemed like they almost spun tires over the bumps going down the back straightaway. So these guys absolutely having their hands full, but right now it looks like Justin Thompson does not. He's got that car a mere inches from the wall, and he's got that thing wound up out there in the lead. Now open up to almost a half second. Looks like that is the line he likes to be in 1 and 2, more in the middle of the racetrack in 3 and 4. Right now, Thompson got it figured out, and with the issues that Lilith Peters has suffered here early, looking like his championship bid may take a huge jump in this one. But if you're some of the guys who are also in the fight out there, as you get a look, I mean, he's a little bit further to the wall than he was a lap or two ago, but that thing right there, any mistake could also ruin Thompson's night. But for everyone else who has a stake in this championship battle, yes, Lilith having problems will help a little bit, but not enough, with Thompson only 2 points behind. Lilith Peters actually being scored, I believe, 2 laps down right now. No, she's still on the lead lap, but tail end of the lap. That car is definitely hurt. We'll get a lot listen on board with her, because I think that car has suffered quite a bit. So it sounds like that car might still be up to full song But maybe just babied it, knowing she has damage. Just try her best to not go a lap down. Hopefully she'll get that thing to pit road if there's any incidents on the track and get back up there because she was having an absolutely fantastic race. But right now, the battle for the lead heating up out here with Strayer running down your leader here about just a little under a tenth of a second, but definitely getting there. We'll keep an eye on this battle as it continues on. We'll keep an eye on the lap times here. And remember, we're probably only a good 7 to 8 laps away from pit stops here, depending on guys' strategy. So we'll wait to see when it updates. So Thompson pulls back a tenth right now, but the battle's still down to, oh, I hear somebody is suffering going down the back straightaway. Yeah, right there. I can't tell who that is. Is that the O2 of, yeah, oh boy. Your guy second in the Rookie of the Year category. I don't have a notification of anything that may have happened to him out here on the racetrack. He has got the old meatball up there as well. So that car definitely way underpowered, has a ton of damage. While we have a quick second before we go back green, let's just go ahead. I don't like personally doing it this way, kind of doing the old school rewind, but I would like to really find out what happened to Zachary here to cause all this damage to the right front of that. Oh man, he is in the wall hard off at 2. Or excuse me, off of 4. Just gonna gets a little loose and the car just shoots to the wall and then, oh yeah. Yeah, that is, that might be his night done. I'm also getting a bunch of notifications right here that Hutton may have gone off the racetrack. They might just be coming down pit road right now. They're in that window. Just want to see if he went for a slide or not. Yeah, Hutton going for a slide there too. Not sure if he got help. We'll also rewind here. Nope, same thing. Just dogging it off of 4. Wow, that Curtis White is lucky he did not completely overcorrect that car and put it right into him. As well as with some of the leaders now making their way on the pit lane. Looks like just trying to see going through. Mullins on pit road. Had a feeling we'd see him early in this sequence because the handling definitely was starting to go away on that car. Also part of his strategy that he likes to do is his early pit cycles. And it seems to work. The battle for the lead is still closing. And there is another guy coming into the picture right here. The 11 of Matthew Weeks. Also continuing to move forward in this one. You got Dayton Taylor, Stephen Miles, and Hutton now all on pit road right there. Haven't seen a lot out of the 99 just yet tonight. Have a feeling there's still some to go as he slides through the box just a little bit there. Going to hurt his time on pit road to see Miles on pit road. Get our eyes back up front here to see when your leaders start to make their way. Got to imagine these guys are going to try to stretch it around here tonight. No cautions. That's me knocking on wood. No cautions so far through 33 laps. On lap 34, got to expect to see a good majority of the leaders to pit road soon. Can you get it on pit road and get after it to keep your lead? Is it a place that you're going to push it if you're Strayer to try to make up ground? But it is a treacherous pit road to get on and off that banking. These tires are wore. They are just shredded at this point. As our 34 laps complete on lap 35, the battle for the lead is rapidly getting underway here. Strayer continues to close the gap, showing that his tire conservation might be part of his strategy here tonight, as Thompson had a half-second lead over him. Now under 0.3 of a second here this evening. We will see when these guys make their way to pit road. Weeks kind of holding steady back there with Worrell, so I think they went to the tire safe strategy early, but maybe had to use a little bit of those tires up as Strayer now dives it to the bottom of the racetrack. Thompson's going to try to use the momentum off the high side. The 26 is loose on the bottom of that racetrack, wheeling that thing. Going to have another shot at him, probably a 1 and 2 here. If he can keep his momentum up. Thompson to the bottom of the racetrack through 3 and 4. The 26 has it wound up, but here comes Thompson to pit road. He's getting that car checked up. Man, I don't know if you could do it any better than that. That was very well done there. LaFrance goes for a tiny slide here So now, how long does Strayer want to stay out here with the 3 car on pit road? If he's confident that this will stay green for quite a while, if he can stretch this 2-3 extra laps, yes, he will lose on the beginning end of this run, but he already showed he knows how to save his tires, and that might stretch out further. Or does he, just like this, make it to pit road this time? Does not want Thompson to get too much of an advantage. The 06 of Worrell getting after it, coming on pit road. I don't know, Worrell. I don't know if you made it. We'll have to see if the black flag comes out. It would have been close. Matthew Weeks now up front with Drew in the 80, just in behind him. Dylan Rosenberg up to 3rd place right now. Craig Martin 4th. Kyle Ether up to 5th as green flag pit stops are underway. We'll see where it all cycles out here in just a couple laps. Weeks on the pit road. Again, another excellent entry onto pit road here. Here comes the 80 as well as Rosenberg. Rosenberg going for a tiny bit of a slide. Joseph here in the 57. Looking like he's got a little right front damage on that machine as well. Gets that to the attention of his crew. Going to slide his box a little bit, so a minor mistake, but could cost you seconds out there on the racetrack. Now you're going to see some of the speed differences out here as Craig Martin is just, looks like he's standing still on the racetrack, still out there. Kyle Ether has inherited the lead right now, but got to imagine it's not long before we see that Budweiser Chevrolet coming down pit road as Craig Martin brings it in that time. Oh, Craig, I don't know. Same thing. I don't know if he got that checked up in time. We're not getting a black flag notification for he or Worrell, so may have gotten away with it. Kyle Ether continuing to lead. Maybe a strategy call. Maybe Ether knew he didn't have the fastest car tonight, but trying to stretch the fuel out. Make this a 2 to 3 stop race, maybe just a 2. Well, others are going 3 if it stays green, but that is a big if right now. Kyle Ether gets it on and off pit road, so out of the pit cycle, Justin Thompson will get that car back to the lead here, and I'm just noticing this as it goes by. Curtis White right in 31st, now 1 lap down, looking like he's got some nose damage to that Armor All 63 machine. So Justin Thompson back to the lead, and in 1 lap, it could have been his time on and off pit road and all that good stuff, but 1 lap pit difference, it is 2.5 seconds back to Lucas Strayer. Here comes Thompson at the line now. There's Strayer. So quite a large difference on and off pit road. We'll see if we can get that telemetry for you. We should be able to. Here for you guys. Let's see here. So, yeah, 14.7. So they're both pit stop time. It was really good pit lane time. Identical as well. So, yeah, let's just chalk that up to tires. Tires meaning that much. But at the same time, again, Strayer was really good at saving tires. We're starting to catch Thompson out there on the racetrack on the longer run. I'm guessing that Strayer is going to want to continue to see these green flag laps tick away. We're going to look at a couple guys we maybe haven't mentioned very much here tonight, like the 92 of Daniel Giroux, doing a good job. Got that car inside the top 10. Qualified 11th, moved up 1 spot. Dayton Taylor, I said we're probably going to hear from him shortly. Well, he's up 21 spots right now, riding in P11 with the top 10 in his sights right now. So coming through the field. Walker McAntley here in the 13 machine, likewise up 14 spots, moving his way to the front as well here this evening. And Mitchell Mark in the 28, up 13 spots. Continue to go around the field. You got Justin Ray here in the 38 machine, the old Kevin Harvick-inspired scheme there. Well, Harvick got his first win on this racing surface in a car that looked just like that. A little bit of number difference there for the 38, but he is riding P20. Kyle Ether, after his pit stop now, is riding P21, only up 4 spots. I'm sure he's going to not be very thrilled with that at this point. but still a long way to go in this race. Now the lead is cut down already to 1.7 seconds here for Lucas Strayer. How much of that is he just pushing it? How much of it already is just tires? Can't wait to get a word with some of these guys here this evening and just see, just how much these tires really matter, how much they were wearing, what their percentages were looking like after a full fuel run out here on the racetrack. We'll get you on some of the NASCAR 2017 cameras here. We'll just got to let the cars do the talking for a couple laps. You're live with the CSR broadcast channel for the All-American Cup Series from Atlanta. A good battle between Connor LaFrance and Casey Carrington. Carrington was a little loose. LaFrance tried to turn down underneath and then found himself stepping out just a little bit out there. So Carrington able to hang on to that position. Your battle for the lead continuing to diminish for Justin Thompson here. Strayer on the top, Thompson on the bottom. It's down to 1.2 seconds. So let's go ahead. We'll jump in here. And while we are at it, let's go ahead and take a look at everything so far this year. I know we talked about this points battle earlier. Coming into tonight after Richmond, Thompson was only 2 points behind Lilith Peters, but Lilith Peters trapped one lap down right now, running in 27. So the lead, the points lead definitely going to change hands. Curtis White was only 13 back, but he likewise trapped one lap down, I believe. Yes, I believe White is trapped a lap down as well with that damage he has suffered to the nose of that machine. So could be a huge points night for Justin Thompson. Carrington's 33 back. Stephen Miles was also 33 back, and Dayton Taylor 55. So if the things finish where they are right now, this could be exactly what the doctor ordered for the driver of the 3 car, because it will probably give him a little bit of breathing room heading into next week's race here, the semifinal for the All-American Cup Series. So, yeah, that's going to be what the doctor ordered here for Thompson. But going through, they also keep the entirety of the stats for 2025. Stephen Miles is on top of that board right now, but again, only a 3-point lead. Christopher Heller Jr., who is not in the field tonight, was only 6 back. Justin Thompson was 31 back. and Lilith Peters 47, Curtis White 84, Connor LaFrance 91. So also for the overall standings, could be a very big night for Thompson there as well. So yeah, this could be a pivotal turning point in the season for Thompson, because with the struggles that everyone else is having at the current moment and the way he's just dominating this race right now, just huge momentum that he needed after suffering quite a few just kind of disastrous races. Not many, if really any, of his fault. For several weeks was getting caught up in a ton of other people's incidents. You know, I don't want to blame, I don't want to say he's been perfect, but he definitely had a tough stretch here for a little bit. You have to go all the way back to, let me just double check my notes here. It has been quite a while. Miles took the lead for a little bit. You got to go all the way back to Watkins Glen for Thompson when he had the points lead, which is back in October, late October nonetheless. But he had a 22 points lead coming out of the Glen. And then after the next few weeks, we just watched him, just with all the problems he had, fell back to third at one point in the standings, several points behind. And then after last week's race, remounted his charge back to the front. So definitely starting to turn his season around, and exactly the right time for him. Let's see if we can get some more data on Mr. Thompson. As you see it there, it's down to 0.9 of a second. Once again, we saw these guys on pit road around lap 35 to 38-ish, so we still we're not far from the end of this run if it continues to stay green here. And Strayer once again continuing to close in on Thompson here. So just get a look after the big win last weekend there for Thompson. You know, that is really, I think, just going to help propel him in his chase for the championship. Really, you know, that was a big win for him. As looks like just trying to also find, I know I have it here somewhere. Also, your team standings, I forgot to put those up earlier here. So yeah, let's get that information for you as well. Of course, it does not want to load. Is looking like right now the lead still staying around 0.9 of a second out there. So Cornerstone Motorsports had the lead. Kaiju Cat there on the team of Lilith Peters was only 3 back. Racing Pros Mafia 18 back from them. So Cornerstone and Kaiju Cat really kind of leading the way in the team standings as well here for the All-American Cup Series. And LaFrance and Silvers and Thompson having the runs they are, and Worrell kind of being the one to fly the ship right now for Kaiju Cat. Dayton Taylor is on his way. Jeremy out there. Where is Jeremy hiding at? Blagan, where are you at in my running order? Oh, trapped 1 lap down in 28th. So another thing to keep an eye on there as well. Cornerstone might be able to just continue to pull away, and all of the things here in All-American Cup Series. Here, we'll go back to Kansas, where Casey Carrington ended up getting the win. Justin Thompson finished second in that race, so that is really where it kind of went back positive for him, and then he grabbed the win at Richmond. But just grab a couple notes for you. What, after we left Watkins Glen for Thompson, where he had a solid finish. He finished 4th in that race. But then it went pretty sideways for Thompson. Dover was not kind to Thompson. I think he was caught up in just about everything in that race. After starting 3rd, ended up finishing 73 laps down in 30th.
And then Talladega wasn't much nicer to Thompson. Got caught up kind of late in the race, but there were still a lot of people in contention. Ended up being 37th in that race. Really hurt him there. And then it took until Kansas. So it really was only a decent finish at Watkins Glen, and 2 bad finishes was all it took between Dover and Talladega to strip him of his points lead. But right now, showing why he did have the points lead in the All-American Cup Series by putting that car back out front, continuing now to stretch it back over Lucas Strayer here in the 26. Chris Worrell looking like he might be closing up on the back, but if he's going to do anything with P2, he better look out, because Matthew Weeks is all over the back bumper of the 26. Got him right in the crosshairs. We'll keep it here for a couple laps and check out this battle from the All-American Cup Series. Weeks now looking inside, but we've seen a lot of people have issues trying to keep that car down at the bottom. Worrell loose getting into the corner there. Drives it in deep. Car washes up just a little bit. Weeks going to look like he's going to try to carry the momentum of the high side, but Worrell doing a great job getting that thing repointed back the right directions as green flag pit stops have started. Daniel Giroux and Thomas Stokes are on pit road here getting into their boxes. Stokes always has a great looking Mike and Ike's car. I got to give him that. Maybe some of my favorite paint schemes in the All-American Cup Series right there in the 66 machine. Just always looks clean out there. Casey Carrington on pit road as well. Gets that thing woed up, as they like to say. In here, you see the 9 pit board. Hit his marks and get his services complete on the 9 machine. I gotta imagine 4 tires for every single one of these guys here this evening. Again, another guy that I'm going to keep an eye on here is Kyle Ether. I want to see just how far he is going to stretch this tank of fuel here. I doubt he can make it to anything more than 75, 76. If he's able to, and we say green, all the leaders will definitely have to pit one more time afterwards. But Kyle might be able to take a little bit less fuel on his stop, maybe part of his strategy here in the 8 camp. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Stephen Miles on pit road here as well. Cleanly, these guys are just making it look easy out here, and I can tell you, I drove this track on these cars before, and it was probably one of the most difficult racetracks, most difficult oval and difficult car that I think I've ever driven, with the 900 horsepower in this abrasive racing surface. It is tough. Get a look on our weather here. The track temperature actually going up, so that is not going to help the loose conditions for any of these guys out here. We'll be curious to see if that continues to go up. Look at the time of day 13. Oh, yeah, so we're mid-afternoon, just after 1:30 here in the simulator. So the track temps could continue to increase, actually. Connor LaFrance on pit road in his box, as well as Jared Hutton now making his way on the pit road. Just make sure he gets this thing in here clean. Sure does. Don't slide the box. Great job by Jared there. Thompson continuing to lead. Strayer kind of falling back. He's holding pretty. He was only 1 second back. He's fallen to 1.4 now. So this time around for Strayer, not quite the run that he was hoping for as far as tire conservation to run back down your leader here. Another person we have spoke a lot about over our broadcasts here, and especially going into this when we were taking a look at the point standings with the 0-1 of Lilith Peters
stuck in 28th position right now. Don't know if this is her going a second lap down while Thompson makes his way on the pit road. The guy she was battling for the lead, looking like Strayer's going to stay out. Thompson gets on, but a difficult race. What the leader going on pit road right as he got to the back bumper, going to save her and have her just one lap down. But if the caution flag was to fly now, she and 15 or more are going to have to stay out there on the racetrack to get that wave around to get back to the lead lap. Don't know if that's the move because with the tire wear, you're going to want him to 26. Strayer really getting after it, coming on the pit road, and oh no. The 26 speeding on entry, as you saw, will have to have a hold here. So a disastrous green flag pit stops for Strayer here. Looking like the only car as well that is going to get that black flag. Chris Worrell's on pit road right now. So Thompson's lead and domination of this race just might continue. However, a caution would change everything. Matthew Weeks does have the lead. Going to score himself another couple laps led out here. Now make the total up to 4 for him for this evening. Walker is on pit road in the 13. Oh, sliding a little bit there in that purple 13 machine, but got it checked up in time as well. Going to be curious to see where Casey Carrington comes out. He is out. He is about 2.2 seconds ahead of Thompson right now, but pitted quite a bit earlier than Thompson. So got to imagine Thompson will probably eat up that ground here rather quickly. Yeah, so we're just before it turns on for Thompson here, so at least 4, maybe 5 laps more on Carrington's set of tires out here on the racetrack. Weeks still continues to lead. He's got Thompson right there in his sights, but I gotta imagine Thompson will be coming to, Weeks will be, this time around for him. Make sure he gets it woed up there. We do got some smoke on pit road. Looking like somebody went for a slide. Don't know if anybody officially went a round, just maybe a slide. Drew will pit from the second position. You got Curtis White right there as well. Kyle Ether will go back and re-inherit the lead. We'll see how long Ether can stay out here and what his strategy might be moving forward. Well, Kyle not going to stay out there very long. Got another lap led. Oh! Slides it a little bit. He gets on. No harm, no foul there. No black flag. So give Craig Martin the lead for a lap or two here in the 22 machine. Going around here. Scored himself a big win at Talladega earlier in the season. Now going to go ahead and lead a couple laps out here, but severely off the pace compared to everyone else. He's going to want to bring that car to pit road this time because we'll show you here the lap speed difference. Yeah, 1.5 seconds. That is per lap that he stays out there. Oh, going to be on the banking. Down earlier than a lot of the cars we have seen so far, but gets it on the pit road. Fine. So now Carrington still holding a decent lead over Justin Thompson right now. So the early pit sequence for Carrington paying off right now. He's actually stretched to 3 seconds right now. So if Carrington can preserve this set of tires, it might not. Thompson might not be able to eat up that difference like we're thinking. He's got it down to 2.7. So if Carrington can just take care of his stuff, make Thompson come to him, and then get back after it, we might see our first bit of competition for Thompson. He has been mired. He started the race mired in the pack. He is up 12 positions, even running in P2, so he knows how to get through the field. But that's when the field was all together. He was able to pick off a couple guys at a time. Now he's got ground to make up. Right now, though, eating into it pretty good. As I said, that Carrington had opened it up just a little bit, but these last few laps, he is really getting after it there. You see the speed difference, almost half a second a lap. Yeah, down to 1.9. He's really closing in on Carrington now. How much is this Carrington babying it? How much is Thompson pushing it? How much of it could just be tires already? Wanted to pull that back up for you. I wanted to get how long it's been. There we go. So lap 67 that Carrington came in. It's 6 laps difference on the tires for Thompson as he came in on 73. LaFrance was in on 70. So 6 laps, and you can see already looking like a half-second difference on pace. You see the 22 of Craig Martin, who just came to pit road here. Is he going to be able to hold off Carrington on those fresh set of tires? He does not want to get trapped 1 lap down right now, as with the pace that Thompson set earlier and now has given the lead to Carrington. He's only got 18 cars on the lead lap, and right now, Craig Martin running for his life in the 22 machine. Now Jared Ray Hutton, the next car, potentially to go 1 lap down. 83 laps down here from Atlanta for the All-American Cup Series. Lap 84 on the board. We'll go ahead and get you some views from the Crank It Up camera as we get ready to head into the final part of this one. We have yet to see the yellow flag, so your commentator completely wrong on that. I thought with the handful that these cars have been that we might see that yellow flag. Well, before we go ahead and crank it up, let's watch this battle here because Thompson is there. So just like that, to the inside for Thompson. Gonna go ahead and take the lead. So Thompson back out front here in this one. Carrington just really not much of a battle that he could do right there. 52 laps led for the 3 machine here tonight. 6 for the 9 machine there as he got out front for just a little bit. But Thompson gets the lead right back. Something to look here now. Really going to be who short pits this sequence. Can Carrington do it again by a couple laps and open up that lead? He was able to hold him off for probably about 12 or so laps before he got there. I know it was the 6 lap difference on their pit stops. However, it took Thompson a little while to get there. And with the rate that these guys are pitting, their last pit stops could come somewhere around the lap 100 mark and be good on fuel. So if somebody can short pit, or like a guy like Thompson, get out there to a 3-4 second lead and just hope it takes Thompson that full 10-15 laps once again to get out front, it could be a race-winning move. But looking like right now, Carrington might be the only one with a possibility to do that because it is quite a ways back. 4.7 seconds back here to this battle for 3rd and 4th between LaFrance and Worrell. Here, Weeks stayed out quite a long bit on his pit cycle last time here. Get a look back at that here. So you see just the difference for these guys. Ether on lap 78, Prowl 77. Looking for Weeks. Where is Weeks? 77 as well. So he stayed out quite a bit longer than some of the guys in front of him. We'll see if his fresher tires start to make a difference. That could put him pitting somewhere around the 120 mark if he really wanted to re-stretch it. I don't know if he's going to be able or has saved enough to make it here all the way for 40 more laps. Yeah, I can't see that 77. That the math isn't going to math on that one, as Thompson once again has Hutton in his sights. Craig Martin just in front there, trying not to go one lap down, but the race pace that Thompson is putting down right now, going to be hard to hold him behind. So Hutton really doing a good job right now, doing everything he can to stay on the lead lap right here, just in case that caution does find its way onto the racetrack. Really just trying to take away Thompson's line right now. How much of this could potentially frustrate the driver of the three? I mean, he's got a sizable lead, 2.8 seconds, so can't imagine he's really too frustrated with this move here by the 50. He's holding his own and still pulling away at the same time, so I'm sure Thompson probably not going to really push the issue out here. Not sure what just pulled up on the bottom of our screen here. You got Mullins on pit road, Dayton Taylor on pit road. I'm trying to figure out what I hit to get that flash when guys are making their way on pit road. So short sequence here. So these guys really going to try. They're in that fuel window of 35 laps. So they're already going to try the short pit game here out on the racetrack. Don't mind me while I'm just trying to pay attention and see what in the world I turned on here this evening. Thompson go ahead and make a run down here. Okay, there it is. Got it. All right, we had our pit lane time. We use that sometimes, but it threw me off. It's been a while since we have used it. Hutton still battling hard out there on the racetrack. So Mullins and Martin already on pit road. Strayer trapped one lap down after having such a strong race, getting caught speeding on pit entry here this evening. When does Thompson make his move? I'm sure I think whatever strategy that three car is on, I don't think it's going to alter at all for him. He knows just how strong his car is. It doesn't take him long to refine the lead here, but you see him make a couple moves here on Hutton. Hutton really fighting hard to stay on the lead lap. So, right now you've dominated this race. You don't want to get yourself mixed up with a lap car. I'm sure Thompson is one of the guys who don't really mind it right now, but an impressive job here by Jared, being able to hold off Thompson here for a little bit. Carrington and LaFrance in this time, so they're going to start their pit sequence. Could this be the move? We've seen this before out of Carrington, using the short pit to his advantage and going out and grabbing the lead and then being super reluctant to give it back. So, looking like right side's up on the 9 machine. Gotta imagine left side's going up. Yeah, left side's up now. So Thompson seeing that. Oh no, Thompson's around. I'm coming into pit road. Thompson spins it coming onto pit road. Does not get a black flag. We'll just see if it's the rough transition. Does he downshift too early? He just starts his slide early. I believe he downshifts too early. The way that car stepped out right there. We'll try to get listen on board real quick, but yep, right there. Downshifted just a little bit too early. That car's going to go around. Going to tap the outside wall right there. So that could be all it takes for Carrington to now walk away from this. Worrell up front. Weeks now in P2. So after such a strong run, Thompson goes around. If that is the case here for Thompson, I don't believe he got a black flag, but he does have a little bit of left rear damage. He could lose a substantial amount of track position. And if you're Lilith Peters, You know, it's a buddy of yours, but I'm sure you're like, yes, yes, my bad night just got a little bit better. Curtis White thinking the same thing. Dayton Taylor now, where is he on the racetrack? Could he end up significantly close this points race up? Weeks as well out here. Worrell leads us. He's up in the wall just a little bit. Stephen Miles on pit road, no problems for him. So we will keep our eyes out front for now. We'll keep an eye on all these guys. 30 laps to go from Atlanta, and the whole script just changed. So Worrell still leading. Stokes, Josh Dillon, which we haven't spoken about much tonight, if at all. Apologize there, Josh. Now on pit road with the 13 of Walker. Now his services are complete. Weeks on pit road this time by. So Worrell, how long does he want to stay out here? Because he was a factor. He is in the top 5. You don't want to get that far out right now. Excuse me. But at the same time, if you're looking at the leaderboard, there's only 5 cars on the lead lap, right? That guy right behind him is a guy, he probably wants to see the caution come out and get him trapped 1 lap down, get him mired back. Well, I can't even really say he'd be trapped because he would come back and get his lap back the old school way. Might have to go tail end, which would really mix things up, but oh, wow. Woo, little crossover there. But the 9 gets it back right now. So the big story right now, Carrington gets his lap back. Thompson, however, just rolling through 3 and 4. Now, several seconds behind the 9 of Carrington right now. I mean, we're talking 5 seconds, which really, considering he spun coming onto pit road, I'm shocked that's all it is. I figured it would be closer to 8 or 9 seconds, if not much more. He did quickly get that car whipped back around, but just what he did not need here tonight after we have talked so much about the driver of the 3 car. Now, Jared Hutton had the lead for just a second as he had battled so hard with Thompson to stay on the lead lap, but now Casey Carrington back to the lead. Hutton, Dylan Rosenberg there, Connor LaFrance as well with his early pit stop, also in the struggles of Thompson, gets out in front of Thompson right now. So Carrington, 25 laps to go for he in this field, has the lead, and he has 5.1 seconds over Justin Thompson, who has dominated this one here this evening. Lilith now going her 2nd lap down. So, unfortunately for Lilith, Thompson did a good job recovering. Also had himself enough of a lead. Well, I gotta say, yeah, he did actually lose probably about 10 seconds because he had a 3-second lead over Carrington and now is in the deficit 5. So, yeah, the benefit for Thompson was he did have a big lead. The problem was the spin. So Carrington to the lead. Thompson is on a mission right now, but there's only 1 lap difference in their tires. So Thompson, yes, has been fast all evening long, but does he have enough time to get there? We're 24 laps to go from Atlanta. Thompson now trying to work his way back, but unfortunately for him, still 5.3 seconds back, not really gaining on your leader of Casey Carrington much at all, actually losing 0.2 of a second. How much of that is that left rear damage? So much downforce on that side of the car, especially in that portion here. We'll try to see if we can get some better looks as he comes through the corner, because that thing definitely was caved in back there on that car. Not going to be able to get a good look. Come on, cameras, work with us here. They're all down here on the inside of the racetrack. And, of course, when we want them to be on the outside, they do the inside of the track. But when we want the inside, they give us the outside. You know, well, we'll take what we can get. Here, as Thompson comes down the front straightaway, there you get a look. Pretty bent in. We'll see next time by if we can get the spotter cam up for you guys. As now Thompson under siege from Weeks, who does have much fresher tires. Don't think he's going to really be able to hold him off there as well. You see Worrell coming in the background. 20 laps ago, he has several laps fresher tires than Carrington, but Carrington 5.8 seconds ahead of Worrell, excuse me. Don't think he's going to be able to do it here. You get to see from the spotter cam. Yeah, I mean, it is, you know, it's right on the quarter panel. It doesn't look like it's affecting the spoiler very much, but you get a good glimpse of it there. Definitely is doing something to that race car with how aero sensitive these cars are. So Carrington out front. LaFrance now 1.6 seconds back. We'll get a look to see at their lap times right here. About 1/10 of a second. The yellow flag is out. Thompson just went off the racetrack. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Well, let's get a Highline Racing breakdown of this one. Our first caution of the evening. Let's see what happens to Justin Thompson. Oh, already catching him around right here. Oh, it must be as soon as we looked. Oh, contact. The 06 just able to drive it off in the corner, and heavy, heavy damage on the 3. That is probably going to be his evening. That car absolutely destroyed. Almost looking like that Talladega car that Earnhardt flipped in there with the deck lid all tore off of that thing. Sorry, not to make a joke at what just happened there, Thompson. But we'll try to get another couple looks at it here. The 6 on the fresher tires. Thompson just on the brakes. And I just don't think Worrell really expected Thompson to be that off the pace right there. And absolutely crushes the outside wall there. Get a look back live. Sorry, don't mean to cut it short, but we have the leaders on pit road here. We are going to have to see who wins the race off of pit road here. Carrington looking like he is going to get out first. LaFrance, Weeks, Worrell, and Mullins, who has not been able to recover, still finding himself in the back. Lilith Peters, Curtis White, your prayers may have just been answered. I know you don't wish anybody, to wreck, but the race that they are having, Thompson sitting on pit lane, that thing smoking. We'll see if we can get a look on board. Yeah, the motor off, the meatball flag is on for Thompson. That is probably going to be his evening after such a dominating performance by him. We'll see if he is in the mood to give us his take. Justin, it's Craig up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I do.
Well, dominating race. Absolutely just kicking rear end and taking name. What just happened, buddy?
Well, teammate dropped down in front of me. One was going to try and pit on the last pit cycle. That took the air off my nose. Jumped on the brake to try to get the car to turn back down the hill. And as I went to go start downshifting, it just spun the car out under the pit stop. That already put me behind. And then you got people like Worrell that, oh, I just caught him from like a second and a half back. Like, let's just run him in hard as hell. Absolutely hard as hell. Instead of just be patient and go around it.
Yeah.
mean, the lack of fucking patience is pretty ridiculous.
Well, this is why I don't want to put you on the spot, but this is what we need. We need to hear what's actually going on in the driver's mind. We're about to get back green. I'll catch up with you after the race to talk about a couple things. If you wouldn't mind hanging around, if you gotta go, we understand. But I'll catch back up with you here in just a little bit if you're still here.
Sounds good.
Well, the green flag getting ready to fly once again. We'll go back to your live screen. Carrington in the lead. LaFrancis right there. World Weeks. Oh, and they're going to stack them up on the start. Several guys going to go around. The caution's going to go right back out. I had a feeling. Once we stacked this field back up that the patients were really going to go out the window. And, yeah. I see Blind Squirrel Media, Jerry Fassett, Trevor Haley, Highline's in the chat. Let's go ahead and go take a look back at that one. It looked like most of our audio was turned down for most of the night, so apologize for you guys for that one if it's been a little quiet, but let's get a look back up here, see what happens. We're going to put it to speed here. I know that a ton of tire spin potentially on this track here. Quarter speed here. Carrington starts to get it going. Yeah, LaFrance gets that Fable tire spin, and so does Worrell actually on the start. Both guys have that issue there. And then Worrell's just going to find LaFrance. Almost kind of saves LaFrance. He does get a little bit of damage here. The 47 and 19 get in it as well. 26 going to suffer a tad bit of damage. Not sure if the 57 of Joseph is going to clip the 5 here. The 5 is going to retap the outside wall. So we'll get a couple different looks at a couple guys going through this one. We'll get a look on board here with the 57 of everything that just happened. So just several guys experiencing that tire spin on that restart there. We'll see if we can get it, listen in with Connor LaFrance. So he got bit by it twice. He saw the tack just go through the roof on that car. And the reason for him going around, we'll check in with Worrell, see some of these guys. LaFrance looking like he may have stayed out on the racetrack, may not want to give up his track position. We'll get a listen in with Chris Worrell. The 47 goes around as well in this one. Get a look to see what happens with Dominic Russo here. So the guys are going to start to spin in front of him here. Yeah, just gets on the brakes in the nose of these cars. We talked about it when we were at Talladega. Man, they just slip right under the other guys here. But just a little bit of damage to the rear end of that car, so he should be all right in that machine. Throws it in reverse. Doesn't want to get that black flag for entering the pit road, even though you get wrecked in that. I really hope one day iRacing can kind of work with some AI and kind of, correct things like that. Well, let's get a live look back out here on the racetrack because they are double stacked right now, getting ready to go back green here. Well, this race just took a left-hand turn, quite literally. I know they're making all lefts out here. But Thompson leading this thing. Now his frustration through the roof with the 06. And then if you're Thompson, you're probably sitting in chat right now going, ha, karma. Him, because he's frustrated right now. But now you got Stephen Miles, your overall point standings leader,
for the year 2025. He's right back up in the mix. Carrington chooses the outside. We'll see if the tire spin bites anybody else, but don't look too far back. Strayer, Kyle Ether are right back in this thing as well. We're back green. We're going to have 11 laps to go. Guys the 92 gets it. Tires spinning a little bit back here as well. Going to stack these boys up. The 92 still trying to hang on to that car. Smartly makes a business decision, just takes that down to the apron so he doesn't get run over. Carrington gets away clean, but we got a hornet's nest of drivers, 3 wide, 2 wide, heading down the back straightaway here, which is a handful of laps to go from Atlanta. Three wide once again back here with Jared Ray Hutton. Dayton Taylor coming into the mix there as well, trying to get that top 10. He could be the biggest winner of all tonight besides Casey Carrington in the points battle. If he can make up a couple more spots as well, could be a huge points day for him, with your top 2 experiencing big trouble here this evening, as Dayton's going to go ahead and grab those 2 positions right here, but Carrington now pulling away by 0.7 of a second over Drew Prowell? I believe he says it Prowell. Correct me if I'm wrong, Drew, if we get a word with you later. Miles, oh, there goes Mullins off the bumper of the 8. Somehow those drivers get it pointed back the right direction. I mean, Mullins should have just crushed the inside wall there. Has the thing pointed back the right direction. Still losing some spots, but it could have been much worse. Kyle Ether as well involved in that one. They're up off of 2 down the back straightaway, so a good recovery from Kyle. Almost went sideways. Still much better than he was running earlier. Now finds himself just outside the top 10 with a little right front damage in that. You see LaFrance in front as well has a little bit of damage on that 5 machine. He also has some rear end damage on that car, but Casey Carrington out front. Drew not really making a charge right now. Stephen Miles in 3rd. Lucas Strayer has recovered after his pit road speeding penalty now. Can he get up there and have anything for Carrington, or is Carrington going to score himself another big win here this year? The caution flag is back out now. Hutton has gone around. So what was a caution-free race for over 100 laps, now we have 3 cautions in a row. Let's go ahead and see what happens to Jared Ray. He was struggling with the handle of that race car just a little bit. Drives it a little deep into the corner, brushes the wall. Yeah, oh boy. I mean, just lost momentum there by scrubbing the wall. Got it a little out of shape. And then, the 57 just going to finish him off. And really nowhere to go if you're the driver of the 57 right here. You're going to see it live. So the 57 going to suffer a little bit of damage in that one as well. Get a live look back up front. We'll see if we can bother our race leader right now while we're under caution. If he's in here, no, he is hiding right now. Don't blame him. Probably a good strategy. Oh, no, there he is. Casey, we're not throwing you off if we get a quick word, are we?
No, I just was hoping to be doing the victory interview by now at these dang cautions.
Well, boy, a lot has changed. I kind of had a feeling you were going to do your Casey Carrington early pit stop out there. Then you hear the trouble with the 3 getting on pit road. Your eyes must have got big, really trying to look in that mirror for him and keep an eye out. And then he gets caught up in something. So Lilith having problems. The 3 having problems. Dayton Taylor not quite inside the top 10. He did crack the top 10 now. So this could be a huge day in the points besides potentially a victory for you tonight.
Yeah, all I'm thinking about is just holding off this 80 and this 1 and 26 and just getting the win. I'll worry about the points after the race. I feel like before the caution, I'd set sail and had it wrapped up. And, man, it's really just going to come down to who can fire in the box and get a good restart here.
Yeah, so, you got a couple laps on the tires now, a little bit of heat in them. Are you just as worried now about this restart and the tire spin as we just saw in the previous ones?
I'm nervous on any restart, man.
All right, well, we'll let you focus back up because you got about a lap until you get back after it. Good luck, and hopefully we'll talk to you here in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, hopefully.
So Casey Carrington out there on the racetrack doing his thing right now. Just going to make sure we tossed him right back in the right lobby here. Don't want to mess him up. There we go. I hit the right thing here. I want to make sure I got him in the right lobby. I don't want to mess him up. I believe, yeah, we got him in the right spot. Okay, we're good. Looks like we got race controls Joseph Penn here tonight, so give a shout out to him up there if he is controlling this race. Doing a great job. We were caution free for quite a long time. In this one, you hear some of these guys go ahead and getting back with the pack. So right now, let's set the stage. We are only going to have a few laps to go. Carrington, Powell, Strayer, Miles, Dillon, Stokes, Rosenberg, Dayton Taylor cracking the top 10. Kyle Ether back inside the top 10 as well. And LaFrance hanging on to the last position in the top 10 in P10. So, let's take a look one more time. When was these guys' last pit stops right here? For the top 6, it's been 13 laps. Rosenberg and Taylor, the most recent on pit road, going to have the freshest tires out of these guys. Can they continue their move forward in this race and maybe, with it stacked back up? Does Dayton Taylor or Rosenberg have enough time to get there? You have the 2 damaged cars of Ether and LaFrance maybe as a buffer. They still were up to speed, but we're approaching the restart zone. We're back away. Looking like everyone. No, the 80's going to loop it there with the tire spin. Don't believe he's going to get the caution, though, because he is in the grass. So now Strayer, who was probably the only contender for the 3 car early in this race, right behind Carrington. But here comes Stokes on the bottom of the racetrack. 3 laps to go to the inside of Carrington. Now Carrington clears, but the 66 trying to get it to stick down the bottom of the racetrack. The 9 gets a great corner there. Kitty carry the momentum. Stokes going to try to slide in behind him here. 2 laps to go from Atlanta. Carrington, Stokes, Strayers, Miles, Dayton Taylor now up inside the top 5. He is going after it. Stokes back to the bottom of the racetrack. Now gets half a car length out of Carrington, right back on the outside. Could this be setting up for one of the classic photo finishes we see here at Atlanta? We've seen them in the past, especially on this. Here comes Strayer. He's got that car wound up on the high side. Stokes all over the back bumper. Is that going to get him loose? White flag. 1 lap to go for the All-American Cup Series. From Atlanta, Carrington on the high side. Strayer looking middle. Stokes on the bottom. He's got the clear now, but Carrington's going to grab that momentum. A big slide there out of the 9. Give the lead to Michael Stokes heading down the back straightaway. Carrington going to look back to the inside here in 3 and 4. This is setting up to be an absolutely insane finish here this evening. Carrington on the bottom, Stokes on the top. They're coming down to the line and photo finish. It's going to be Michael Stokes taking the win here this evening. What a drive for the driver of the 66. Meyer deep in this field for a good majority of the race. With the late cautions, finds his way, muscles his way. There you go. You got the respect there from the 9. Raced him clean, got after it, got up there, and takes the win. Here comes Curtis White to give his boy some congratulatory donuts on the door. Here comes Mullins as well. You got to know the team's happy for him. Jacks up the rear end of the car. Mullins right here at the start-finish line. Gonna burn it down here. A huge win from Stokes here. Excuse me, Thomas Stokes in the 66 machine, burning it down right at the start-finish line. So let's get a word with tonight's winner, Thomas Stokes. Where are you hiding at, Thomas? You gotta be in Discord. There you are.
Let's move him on up here to the broadcast booth. Tonight's
Oh.
winner, Thomas Stokes, man. Congratulations.
Man, I am so lost for words. I have no clue how that happened, and I've never won anything in the league before, and I've just been around top 10 all season, and just coming to green there from 5th. I don't know. I roll spun, and then I was 3rd, and then I got under someone and got the clean air, and I don't know. I guess the clean air was exactly what I needed because my cart just felt hooked up when I didn't feel that way the entire race. I guess that's all I needed. Man.
Well, yeah, like you said, kind of mired pack midfield, doing your thing. The cards fall right. You have the chaos in front of you on the restart. I mean, that's a lot to overcome in the last 5 or 6 laps, but you get it done. I said you got probably some of my favorite paint schemes in the All-American Cup Series so far this season. I mean, how big is this for you, and to then carry this momentum into the final few races of the season?
Man, I mean, this was huge. I mean, thank you on the paint schemes. My good friend and teammate Sheldon is the original creator of this design, and I had him. I said, "Hey, send me the file over, and I'm gonna make a bunch of different flavors." So today I'm rocking the sour blue. But yeah, I mean, just every restart, it seemed like everyone directly in front of me either spun or crashed or something, and I got through them, and this is just huge. I mean, all season I haven't even had a top 5. I've been there, I've been fringe top 10 or in the top 10 every race, but and I didn't feel. I mean, I was telling my teammates coming to that last yellow, I said, man, Atlanta's got to be my worst 1.5 mile track, and I don't know.
Not
Everything
tonight.
just happened there at the end, and it worked out.
Well, congratulations on the win. I have a feeling maybe we'll see that sour blue raspberry car again this season. What do you say?
Yeah, it's my first time ever running it. This is the debut. Man, I might have to finish the season with it. I mean, it might be my luck charm. I don't know. I was running 10th there when that first yellow came out, right at the end. And everyone took tires. And I was like, man, from like 10th or 9th, I don't think I'm going to be able to, make up anything. 15 laps later, I'm in victory lane. That's the craziest turn of events I've ever had on iRacing. And I just want to thank everyone. I want to thank you for broadcasting. It's great that you're broadcasting for us. I want to thank Casey for running the league. And I want to thank my teammates, Michael and Sheldon and Curtis and Elijah, even though he's not here. They race with me like almost every night. And even though sometimes they end up beating me, times like this when I can come out on top, it makes it nice. And I know that some of them had bad races, but carrying the team to victory here and probably closing in on the team points lead, maybe even taking over that lead here. Man, that's all we needed going into the final 2 races.
Well, congrats on the win here. I'll let you get down there and celebrate with your team. Great job, buddy.
Thank you.
Well, you see your finish right there before we go ahead and get your rest of your interviews here in this evening. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at your final results. Thomas Stokes gets it done in a photo finish over Casey Carrington and Lucas Strayer. Dayton Taylor comes all the way back to P4. Stephen Miles, Rosenberg. Josh Dillon has himself a great race. Again, apologize, we didn't talk about his race much, but manages that top 10. Kyle Ether as well. Just hard fought top 10 for him here this evening. Walker McGantley as well, P9. Hunter Sr. there in the 42. Didn't get a chance to really talk with him that much either here tonight, but again, pulls out a top 10. So great job, Mullins, LaFrance, Anderson, Atkins, John there. I'm not even going to try to butcher that last name. Chris Worrell, after having a strong race with his tie-up with Thompson, and then the ensuing restart with the tire spin, finishes 16th. Justin Ray, James Silver round out your top 18 as you get a look at the rest of the finishing results here. Jared Hutton finishing 6 laps down back there. Lilith Peters, unfortunately, just could never get those laps back after the damage she suffered here. And Justin Thompson, that is going to be the big one here to take away from tonight, finishing 30th. So really going to be interesting to see in the upcoming weeks just how the points is going to shake out, because this one may very well just be huge and really make it a 6, 7, 8, 10 car
battle coming into these next 2 weeks to crown a champion here this evening. Let's bring in the guy we had a word with, but in a photo finish, P2 here tonight, Casey.
Yeah, I was putting on some entertainment there. It would have been boring if I would the last 20, 30 laps for everybody. So, I don't think we'd had one of the classic Atlanta finishes in this league yet. So I figured I would just throw one out there here.
Well, it was well done because it was a blast. You were up there trying to defend on the high side. Stokes, he said that car, once it hit that clean air, is everything he needed. What more did you need to beat him that extra half car length to get back to the line first? And how much fun was it just to be in that battle in those last couple laps? I know P2's not where you want to be, but you had to have a blast behind the wheel.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. I was more concerned with getting wrecked rather than winning the race. Like, I would have been fine with P2. I just was so scared that they were going to, you had two guys there that had never won a race in the league. I was scared they were going to get too aggressive and take us all out there. But, yeah, I mean, really, I think where I choked it away was when that issue happened with the 80 on the restart. I kind of got distracted and kind of lollygagged into 1 and 2 there, and then Stokes came out with just the run from hell on the bottom, and I thought he was on fresher tires or something, the run he got there, and by that point I was like, oh crap, I had straightened up a little bit and started running hard, and at that point he just had too much momentum. And I think too there in those last couple laps after the cautions, the bottom had picked up a bit more pace than the top line, and because I didn't think I was going to be able to stick with him coming to the line there at the end the way that I would. I figured he'd pull me off the corner. But all in all, I mean, hey, a good points day. I probably shouldn't have won that race anyway. Thompson ran into a lot of issues there. He dominated otherwise. But, yeah, I was telling the guys, I feel like probably the only way in the last 30 or so laps that I wasn't going to win that race is if it played out exactly the way it played out. So, but, I mean, like I said, I'll take the P2 and the points and go to Rockingham.
Well, 2 races left, Rockingham and then Homestead, correct, to finish out the season. You've been on a tear here lately. This could potentially give you that points lead. So I'll wait to see those results here this evening. But, how do you keep this ball rolling, and how aggressive are you going to be these next 2 weeks to get that championship?
Well, let's see. Looking at it, I'm 4 back. Lilith's still the points leader. I'm tied with Justin for P2, 4 back. I don't know. Rockingham's going to be such a wild card. It's going to be kind of like a Richmond. I don't know that we'll have necessarily as many wrecks and cautions, but that's going to be a race of just surviving. Whoever survives that's going to be the true victor of it, whether they win the race or not. And then Homestead, statistically, is probably my best track in this league. So if I can survive Rockingham, I like my chances, but I don't necessarily like my chances of surviving Rockingham.
Well, anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go for the night?
Yeah, shout out to you for doing the broadcast. Hope you had fun there. I mentioned in the notes I was hoping we could get some long runs and some multi-groove racing. That's exactly what we got. First 110 laps or so of that race is probably some of the best we've ever had in this league. And I hate that it kind of got squirrely there towards the end, but that happens even in real life. Shout out to everybody that watched the broadcast. Shout out to Joseph for coming in doing race control. He wasn't really needed to the last 15 minutes of the night, but glad he was here anyway. Shout out to all the drivers. I mean, like I said, that was so much fun. That first fuel run from the start of the race to the first pit stop was the most fun I think I've ever had in iRacing. We were just sliding all over the place, trading spots, and I appreciate everybody for keeping it mostly clean, and especially the guys up there in the top 5 towards the last 2 or 3 laps for not wadding us all up and letting us have that crazy finish for everybody.
Well, congrats on the P2. Looking forward to next week, man. It's going to be a blast.
Yep, see you there.
Well, let's bring in the guy who finishes 3rd here tonight. A bit of a wild one there for you, Luke. Right up there battling with Thompson. You're trying to catch him on those older tires where it seemed like you were stronger than the second run. Maybe he saves his tires a little better. You weren't able to catch him. On pit road, you get a black flag, you get the hold, you get trapped 1 lap down. The cautions finally fly with the last few laps of the race. You get that lap back and battle all the way back to 3rd. Just kind of run us through your night.
Yeah, that was the most up and down race I think I've ever had. Racing Thompson a lot. I felt like I had a lot of speed. I think I had a better long run than him, but it was it was not even a 10th. But when I sped on pit road, it was just like I really thought my race was over. I'm like, I can't believe I did this running second, just threw the whole race away. So I knew like after I got out there, I was like, I just need to stay out. Like I just need to stay out, just hope for whatever. And then when I heard Thompson spun, I was like, are you kidding me? Like I really would have just inherited the lead.
Yeah.
But I'm not kidding. When that caution came out in that long run, I was on the backstretch like calling, or I was about to call like I'm pitting.
Oh,
And then
wow.
the caution came out, and I was like, dude, no way, this isn't happening. So I'm like turning off my engine, I'm clutching. By the time we get around and I can pit, I have 0.1 gallons of fuel left. So yeah, so I'm like, oh, I'm back in it, I'm 10th. Let's see what can happen. And then that restart wreck, which I don't know how I missed Connor. I just
Yeah, that was
his car came
close.
back across the racetrack, and I thought I was hitting him, and I saw a 4X, and I was like looking around like, I think I'm okay. I think I hit the 13, and that was my 4X. I was like, I think I'm okay. Then another restart jumble, and I'm 4th, and I'm just like, how did I get here? Like I was 23rd, a lap down. But yeah, shout out to that 66. Like he on that restart, he gripped the bottom and it just went. I was so impressed. I thought he had to be low fuel or something with his tires. Like that was insane. And then really wanted him and Casey to fight it out, maybe get a little too into each other, and I could kind of just sweep by, but it wasn't meant to be. On the last lap when Casey got that run, he cut across my nose. He's like, thanks for giving me the room. And I was like, dude, I was hoping you were diving in there and killing the 66. So yeah, wasn't meant to be for a win, but honestly, everything that happened tonight, finishing 3rd, like I'll take that. That is an insane night where I probably had moments where I was happy as ever, and I was probably beating my steering wheel. So yeah, wild night.
Well, yeah, wild to say the least. So, it's a night like this, do you just you put this in the memory bank to like not get too down, say I'm not out of this thing into the white flag, and then how do you now take that mindset into the final few races of the year?
Well, the sad part was if I would have came out of pit road and I was 2 laps down, I was gonna alt F4. So luckily I was like 1 lap down in like 3/4 of a lap. So that quarter of a lap saved me from an alt F4 early. But yeah, it's with this league. It seems like we have spurts where we have just long green flag runs that just come out of nowhere. Like we had that long green flag run to start the race, and then Caution City, but Richmond last week or 2 weeks ago, I guess. We having cautions early, and then we had a long green flag run, and unfortunately, I lost my bumper on the restart of that long green flag run, so I was running around like a junior modified. But
Bet to the motor stayed cooled though.
oh yeah, I was so happy it was Richmond because like my laps were only like 2/10 off, so like for running a modified most of it, I was at least stayed on the lead lap. But yeah, it's how many races this year have not really gone a certain way just for whatever reason. Like definitely Karma was like, hey man,
we owe you
stepped
one.
on you. We well, it was kind of give and take. They gave me a speeding penalty, which just me on myself, and then they're like, you know what, we feel sorry for that, we're gonna give you the luckiest caution of your life, and then we're gonna wreck the whole field in front of you twice to get you back to the front. So Karma really Karma's just playing with me right now.
Well, it all worked out for you. Well, before we let you go, anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
I'll give a shout out to my grandpa and my uncle. They probably haven't watched a race in a while because whenever I have raced, I've just wrecked or they haven't really seen me. So probably gonna be happy to see me not wreck. I mean, they're gonna wonder why. I don't know if it was covered on the broadcast, but they're gonna be like, how did Luke go from 2nd to 23rd?
Oh, we caught you. We caught you all the way to your entrance to the pit road.
I'm gonna have to tell them then, like, hey, when you see me speed, don't quit. I know there's been times I've crashed.
Fast forward another 40 minutes. just go right
Yeah.
past that point.
But shout out to them. Shout out to Spoiler Diecast. Use code GLSR for free shipping. and Cornwall barbecue sauce. I think I have sweet on my deck lid. I have no idea. I know it was one of us has sweet and one of us has spicy. And also just shout out to TI Racing. We did something. I know we've had a rough year where luck doesn't seem to go our way, but I'm hoping this is a big turnaround for us. And yeah, and get well, Chris Lewis. I know you're feeling down, so woo, let's go party.
All right. Well, good job, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Lucas Strayer in the 26, man. One of the happiest guys I think I've seen for a P3 finish, but we all know why, as he had a lot of adversity to go through. Want to get one more guy. I'm going to steal you here, Dayton, before we get off the air. Up 28 spots, the biggest mover of the race. Mired back for quite a while. You started inching your way forward. You had the 2 wrecks in front of you there on the on those restarts. Just how did you prevail from starting 32nd and come away with a top 5?
Honestly, I was bored. I saw we had 32 cars, so I knew I couldn't DNQ. So I was like, why not? And yeah.
Well, a big night for Rookie of the Year, because you probably just about locked that down. So you have that in your back pocket. Yeah, so you'll probably have that in your back pocket with the O2 finishing dead last here tonight. That's probably all sealed up for you. But in other news, with first and second in the point standings having issues, I believe you find yourself sitting in a very pretty spot right now.
Yeah, minus 31 with a DNQ at Daytona. How I'm here, I don't know, but I'm not going to complain and try not to wreck the field the next 2 weeks.
Well, yeah, 6. Only 31 points out. We've seen that from Justin Thompson earlier this season. 31 points can go away in a hurry. It only takes 2 races to find yourself third in points from the points leader. So how, like you said, not try to wreck the whole field the next 2 weeks, but how aggressive is this 99 car going to be? Because you're right there. You're knocking on the door with crowning yourself as a champion and the Rookie of the Year all in the same season.
Well, if they're an RPM or Cornerstone driver, they're getting absolutely everything from me. Lilith, she can have it if she wants the spot. But yeah, no, kind of just, it's still 31 points. That's still a massive gap with the guys on the top 5. But I mean, doesn't hurt.
Well, good luck, buddy. Hopefully we get to chat with you next week as well.
Yes, sir.
Dayton Taylor there in the 99. We'll see if this guy, let's move him up here in the broadcast booth. Not the night that we're used to seeing out of this 63. Curtis, what happened? Give us your rundown of tonight.
I don't know. I'm still trying to go over it right now, Craig. I wanted this to be over. If I wasn't spending the whole race 2 laps down, I would have said that was probably the most fun race of the season, but I spent the whole race with 6 minutes of damage because I qualify poorly, get stuck in the hornet's nest where there's no room to pass, and no one can hold their line. Well, not really. I'm losing it here.
That's
Not
all
really
right.
People not holding their line, but just like anytime I wanted to run the top, whoever's in front of me also run the top hits the wall, and I had to avoid them. And I was gonna pit like 1 lap, 2 laps earlier, and every time I was gonna pit, they were on the verge of wrecking or looked like they were wrecking. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll just run another lap. So when I did pit, I saw the 42 slide off into the grass because he pitted at the same time I did, and that distracted me. Not gonna lie, it distracted me, and I'm like, oh crap, I'm going 60 miles an hour into the braking, and I locked up the rear brakes, spun, hit the inside pit wall, got myself 6.5 minutes of damage. In a race where I literally came in this race, I don't need to try anything except just outscore the other 2, just don't get into trouble. And that would have been perfect because Lilith had a moment. Thompson apparently got wrecked. I haven't seen what happened to either of them yet. So if I had just a normal race, I could have come out of this with a points lead.
Yeah, well, in good news, though, you're going into the last 2 races of the season only sitting 9 points out. So I'll ask you the same thing I asked Dayton. How aggressive is this 63 car going to be these final 2 weeks?
Well, it's Rockingham. I'd say that's probably about as aggressive as you would come to expect the 63. That is probably one of my best tracks on the schedule. That and Homestead, that's a really good stretch to end the season for me. I almost debated whether or not I was going to run those races at all. If nothing happened to the other 2 in the points, I would have just been like, oh, it was a good season. I'm just going to, because I got other stuff that I'm trying to get done for the holidays, right? So I'm like,
Yeah.
Considering that I guess all of us have had bad days, I guess we can call this race a wash and try again next week, which I'm glad it's Rockingham, right? I've ran really well there in the past, so mentality is going to be try to win.
Well,
That's what I'm going to try to do is win.
Well, good luck. A rough night, but in the points, not as rough. So looking forward to seeing you over the next 2 weeks, bud.
Appreciate it, and congrats to Thomas. That's another win for the team, and another team member that gets a win before me at this rate. Sheldon's gonna get one, and he's our substitute driver. So
I have a
appreciate you
feeling
guys
it'll turn
bringing me up
around,
here.
man.
I'm hoping so, man. I really am. It was, I mean, my luck was bound to run out at some point. It was going too good for too long.
Well,
Um,
I mean, I wouldn't say it ran out because you're right there in the championship contention now.
Yep. And
Well-
that also brought in Casey. It brought in Steven Miles. It just made it even more interesting because now we have at least 5 of us that could win the chip. So
Yeah, absolutely.
now I got more than 2 drivers that I gotta worry about next week.
You better just put the pedal down and go.
You best believe it.
Well, that should about wrap it up for us here this evening. I mean, just an absolutely incredible race from Atlanta. We saw multi-groove racing. We saw these cars be an absolute handful out there. Guys sliding all over the track. We saw long green flag runs. We saw chaos at the end of the race. And it all comes down to a photo finish with Thomas Stokes and Casey Carrington. You see the battle here off 4. Stokes gets that car wound up. Carrington trying to drive it to the bottom of the racetrack, coming down to the tri-oval. And there is your finish for this evening. About 3/4 of a car length there for Thomas Stokes. I believe I keep calling him Michael. Thomas Stokes grabbing the victory here from Atlanta this evening. One last thing we want to bring in here, because we don't have it cropped up just yet. The race just ended, but I'm going to slide this thing up in front of you guys here. These are the driver standings after, well, it's technically Echo Park right now, but we're on the Legacy track, so we'll call it the old Atlanta Motor Speedway here. Let me get you back to a full screen here so you guys can check this out. The points battle is close. Lilith Peters, even with her rough night, somehow maintains her lead, but a tie in second for only 4 points back. Curtis White, as we just said, 9 back. Steven Miles, only 12 back. Dayton Taylor has a little bit of work to do if he wants to get there, but mathematically still in the equation. Thomas Stokes in 7th grabs himself a big win there and some bonus points. So mathematically, Stokes not out of the equation just yet as well. With some of the issues we saw out of the top 2 here this evening, to say that these guys, the top 3, 4 could get into something next week if the aggressiveness goes through the roof, I don't think that's out of the equation. So guys like Ether, Stokes, Dayton Taylor, I think still got to be just absolutely chomping at the bit right here because there is a championship on the line for the All-American Cup Series. Well, that'll wrap it up for us here this evening. A fantastic race, a absolutely thriller final few laps. Here is your victor, Thomas Stokes, edging out Casey Carrington. We'll be back next Tuesday for the MOTD Series, and then back here Thursday for the All-American Cup Series.
Once again, appreciate you guys tuning in. If you could hit the subscribe or follow button, a thumbs up, it'll help people find content just like this. We got some more series messaging us. We're going to have some truck racing coming up. We might even be able to get up there with Blind Squirrel Media and put on some dirt racing up here on the CSR broadcast channel, which will be a ton of fun to get up and going. Appreciate you guys coming out here this evening and checking this one out, or if you're watching it at a later time, thank you so much for checking us out here on CSR broadcast channel. Until next week, we'll see you soon.